the two things you have to keep in mind when you're attempting self-help speaking part 4 is when you predict, don't predict too much in the future. For example, students say that it'll be the next day and all of these people will go home and there will be new people. Some people even predict the next month and so on. The prediction you have to imagine is whatever happens in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? That's how you want to think. It's immediate what's going to happen next for these people in the picture, and that's why we say 15 to 20 minutes. Don't introduce everyone as new characters. You don't want to say that everybody here will be replaced by new people. You can introduce a few. You could say, yeah, there's going to be a few more new people who are going to be getting their luggages, but don't remove everybody here to make it convenient for yourself. Number two, don't say anything too extraordinary, okay? You can predict whatever comes to your mind. You can say that this family here is going to talk to the robot. That's possible within the realm of whatever is in the picture. But don't say that, a shark is going to come out of this tube now, or that this person is going to start jumping on the whatever, on the belt. You don't want to make something awkward, or this guy is actually going to be turn out to be a little person. No, just make it sensible. A lot of people know that with prediction you can use your imagination, but that's not what it means. Just make it realistic and based on what you actually see. Like if you see a sign of things happening, like for example, maybe you can say that there's a guy who's going to be coming out of this tube in a canoe because there's this what do you call it, paddle with it. So maybe there's a guy. Again, not entirely possible, but the picture at least indicates something like that could happen. So you can use something absurd like that, but I still don't prefer you do that. Okay, now we're going to predict. Once again, the strategy is 3 to 4 major points. You talk about what you think will happen next. If you haven't seen the part 1 of this video, please do. That explains how to answer part 3 speaking. And in part 3 speaking also, we said pick 3 to 4 main people. And when you move to part 4, we're going to pick the same 3 to 4 main people and just predict what happens to them. For example, I selected in my previous video this family here, the robot here, and this family here. 4 things, and the reason I did that is because this covers a big area of the picture. So I can talk about them, and I can then generalize everybody else. I could talk about how probably they're gonna get their luggage soon. It looks like it just started loading, hence they'll just get it and be on their way. Okay? Or I could say that while these people are waiting, they might be joined with other people who would be looking for their luggages as well. And that's it. So you can generalize everybody else, but again, you're picking 3 to 4 main people. Now, when you're using this, most students just say will. Okay, that's another major problem. They will do this, they will do this, they will do this. First of all, you want to use connectors too. Furthermore, likewise also, and so on, when you go between people. You can also use complex words, complex sentences, like while these guys will do this, these will do this. So you're using something complex to connect things. That gives you a range of vocab, and it keeps it different and versatile. But also, instead of will, you want to use different words. Will, may, and then try to use some lees. Probably will, and most likely. I want you guys to use this at least once. Most likely, because it's different than will, and it's again in prediction, because we are predicting for the future. It also is an adverb, which will give you your marks for the range of vocabulary. So what you can do is when you start, you can just say that as the first thing. In this picture, what I think will probably happen next is this family right here will most likely, and then continue. This will ensure you get that likely out of the way, and it will give you your mark for adverb, and you don't have to think about that later. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and predict. Let's start our timer now. In this picture, what I think will most likely happen right away is the family on the bottom right hand side will be trying to grab their luggage while they will be interrupted by this cowboy and his rope, which might even cause injury, since this does not look like a safe situation, with the cowboy completely being indifferent to people around him. However, towards the left-hand side, we would have a more peaceful scenario with the nuclear family just reuniting, probably spending more time with each other. It doesn't seem like they're in a rush to get their luggage. While we go towards the top and see the robot do his thing and drag more attention towards itself, we would have other people joining in as well, grabbing their luggage and probably being fascinated by the robot at the same time. Towards the top right hand side, the family there would not only just grab the fruits, I am assuming there would be more luggage that they would be picking up, which is exactly what might transpire in the next few minutes. As the time goes by, the luggage will be replaced by additional luggage, and that's what I think will happen next in the picture. That's it. Okay. So here we again used some fancy wordings. We said fascinated by this. There was one time I said however. I could have said something better. I could have said nonetheless, nevertheless. So that's what I was thinking. I was also thinking instead of using the rope is in between them, I was thinking the rope would impede their way. But I was thinking it's too much. You know, impede is not it again in CELPIP we try to make fancy vocab, the one we don't even use in real life, but it might be too much because it's not really a formal situation like impeding my progress. It's not like that. So I decided to avoid that and just use the word indifferent, that the cowboy is indifferent because he is not paying attention to people around him. Here, while moving to the robot, I said, while the robot is doing this, and it's gonna drag more attention or draw more attention, I said one of those words. And that is better, that's a phrasal verb instead of just saying people will look at him, or it'll drag more attention or captivate more audience. Using fancier wordings is better. And then I connected this and this. I said, while this will do this, this will do this. So using while makes it a complex sentence, and you can include multiple things within that sentence. I think I actually said while this will do this, other people will join. Yeah, that's what I said. And then I said then these guys will do whatever. You might have noticed when I came to these people, I didn't use any connector. I didn't use a complex word. I just said towards the top right hand side. And that's again going to show a range of vocab because now I have used connectors, complex words. I've used all those things, and now at this point, I just paused. I was confident in pausing, and then I just started a new sentence, and again, it shows that I can use that format as well. So give the examiner as many things as you can in terms of range and versatility and sentence structures. I couldn't talk about these people, couldn't talk about this, and couldn't talk about this cow coming out of the luggage. So it's impossible to talk about everything, but you can use a few words to generalize everything else. I think I said that more luggage would come and more people would come, and that's just how you can generalize. You could also have said that these people who are right now a little distracted with their reunions will just get their luggage and be on their way. Okay, don't worry about each thing. Like you cannot talk about this guy. He's a little irrelevant, not really interesting, and not a major part of the picture. Don't worry about the taxi in the background. Just cover 3 to 4 main people and generalize everybody else. Also, I used most likely, by the way, when I started, and I used probably, I think, twice. So using the lees is also a great idea to give yourself a range of vocab. Okay, I hope this helps. And if you want a more detailed version of this speaking and all speaking parts, written down templates with a lot of samples and examiner marking criteria, which is the most important in your CELPIP exam, because let's face it, speaking is the hardest module in CELPIP. Most people fail there. If you want the best resources for that, check out the link in the description. In our course, which is right now at a 20% discount, we offer all these tools to get you ready to speak just like me or better than me and make sure you don't fail. If you have any questions, feel free to email also. Link is in the description, as well as more resources that are also linked in the description. Thank you very much. Take care.